You should never tell anybody how much Bitcoin you have ever, especially on the internet. Second of all, make damn sure that you have a good process for that Bitcoin. Multi-signature, multi-jurisdictional. If you got 8 Bitcoin, you got to protect that stuff with your life. I mean, if you have any amount of Bitcoin right now, I'm trying to come up with some sort of threshold. We are going to be, I was talking to Craig this morning, actually, we're pretty close to launching our multi-jurisdictional solution for Bitcoin holding for your keys, for your inheritance. It's pretty exciting. But anyways, I'm trying to come up with like a threshold in terms of what sort of Bitcoin, not fiat price, but what kind of Bitcoin amount would justify what kind of a setup. In other words, like if you got 2 million sats, you're probably fine on a Trezor. If you got 50 million sats, you should definitely look into a cold card. If you got between 50, you know what I mean? Like, I think that even though it's not set in stone, I think that it would be very beneficial for people to have something at least that they can look where they're at versus kind of what they should have. And if they're not at that, maybe one up or down from there in terms of your security. But new Trezor 5. I mean, if you got eight Bitcoin on a Trezor that's plugged into your laptop, that should be the top of your priority list. Cancel everything you have to do today and get that into a safe place. Trezor is good, but not for more than 50 million sats, half a Bitcoin. I would never put more than that on a Trezor. Silverstone, my favorite name on here, says, what is your contact? Anything you ever want to know about me, my NPub, my website, my email, Arnie's Waldo Satoshi, all in the contact info below in the notes. Oh, look at this. We had a bit of a fee spike here. Can you please elaborate in terms of the Trezor? Yeah, I think the Trezor's fine. I have a Trezor myself. I just think that you always want to get rid of your single point of failure. That's number one. So a Trezor itself is a single point of failure. Even a cold card. If you got a cold card, that's a single point of failure. Because if somebody breaks in your house and takes your seed plate, it's gone. If your house burns down and you have everything on paper and your devices in there, it's gone. That's your single point of failure. So with the cold card, you can actually, on top of that, you can set up a passphrase, which you set up a decoy wallet there. That adds another layer of security. But then from there, you actually go into your multi-signature. So if somebody were to break in your house, if your house were to burn down, you don't have a single point of failure there. You have 2 other options to restore that Bitcoin. And that's aside from like the vulnerability in terms of plugging into a laptop for the Trezor. So I'm not a technical guy. I'm not an IT guy. I don't know the ins and outs of what a laptop can and can't produce in terms of plugging a device into it, but I do not want to take that risk. So with the cold card, you don't have to worry about that. It's all air gapped. So you actually never plug it in through the USB port and it's never connected to the internet. So single point of failure is the first part of that, but the second part is plugging it into a laptop that you've probably done some not nefarious things with, but every site tracks you and you never know who's watching that. Your keystrokes, your screen, the actual USB connection itself. There's just way too much at stake to be using something like a Trezor for anything more than like half a Bitcoin, I would say.